This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. The dates for the final batch of inflation relief payments have officially been announced. I'll let you know those dates. When it comes to the tax rebate $300 checks, there's just a few days left to claim those. We're going to hear from Ted Cruz of how the new Congress is going to benefit the American people and how America should be better as a result of it. We'll hear what Ted Cruz has to say, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily, straight-to-the-point updates on matters that financially matter to you. All right, so let's get into it. Stimulus update: Delaware deadline to claim $300 direct tax rebate checks, 9 days away. So if you live in Delaware and you're eligible for the $300 checks, you have to submit your applications before November 30th, or actually it is November 30th at 11:59 p.m. on November 30th, so make sure you do that if you are in Delaware and you still want to collect those $300 checks. And then California inflation relief payments, final batch of dates announced. So what's going on here? We've heard about the California checks ranging from $200 to $1,000. Basically, what it's saying here is these are all the different batches. So let's look at the most recent ones. So basically 11/20 to December 3rd, and then it's going through. I'll pause the screen here because there's actually a lot of information, but it's going, the last batch is going to be December 17th through January 14th. So if you have not received your California stimulus check yet, take a look at this, see if any of the information matches up. They're still going out through January 14th of 2023 when it comes to helping out America and thinking that America is on a better course now because the Republicans own the House majority. What are the big plans here? What is going to happen next? Take a look at what Republican Senator Ted Cruz has to say.
Weaponization is a very bad trend. Senator, let me turn to some other things here. So the GOP will take the House, not quite the Senate. Maybe it'll be 50-50 if Herschel Walker wins, maybe not. My question to you is the Republican Party poised, ready, organized to really make it clear to the American people that the Republicans have an agenda for economic growth and prosperity? And I mean a broad-based agenda. Spending, taxing, regulating, of course, opening up the spigots on fossil fuels, but also stopping crime is pro-growth. Stopping the borders, closing the borders would be pro-growth. In other words, can the GOP show the public that they will make good stewards of economic prosperity? Because I'm not sure they made that case convincingly during the last election.
Yeah, look, I agree with you, and I hope so. We need to stand up and lead, and that means, number one, serious oversight from the House of Representatives. That means investigating all of these policies that are hurting the American people, the policies of waste and fraud and spending trillions of dollars that are driving up inflation, the war on domestic energy production that's driving up the cost of gasoline, all of the soft on crime prosecutors and the zealots advocating for abolishing the police and how that is driving up crime. We need to be fighting all of that. And I'll tell you, in the Senate, you know, we just had last week, as you know, a leadership battle in the Senate. It's first time in 16 years that Mitch McConnell's been leader that there's been a leadership battle. And I stood up, I made a motion that we should delay leadership elections until after December 6th, until after the Georgia runoff. I said, Herschel Walker deserves to have a say in our leadership. And we need to have a debate about what Republicans in the Senate are going to stand for. Are we going to fight? And my motion needed 25 senators to vote for it to pass. It ended up getting 16, so I fell just 9 senators short. But what was valuable is we had 2 days of extended debate where I asked our leadership, I said, listen, is there anything that we're willing to fight on? Because right now, a lot of the American people believe we're not willing to fight. I think we need to pick big issues and stand and fight. And I suggested several. I suggested, number one, we should be fighting right now to stop Joe Biden from firing thousands of soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines who dedicated their lives to defending this country, who Biden is firing just because they declined to get the COVID vaccine. I said, we ought to use legislative power to fight that. Next year, we ought to draw a line in the sand and fight and say, we will not fund 87,000 new IRS agents who will descend upon the American people and persecute the American people, whom Biden will weaponize to target you. We ought to draw the line in the sand and say, we're not going to fund that, and we're going to put that money on the southern border to secure our border. Now, I'll tell you, our leadership wasn't eager to engage in any of those fights, but I think it was beneficial that we're having that conversation. I'm going to keep pressing. I think if you want to win and lead, you got to demonstrate you're willing to fight and you believe in what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to get my colleagues to stand up and do all together.
Why not, by the by, why not take H.R. 1, which I think might come out of the House, and support that would essentially turn the oil and gas spigots back on, permitting, fracking, pipelining, refining.
Yes.
I mean, why not start there? I mean, I think 80% of the country would be in favor of that, and that would be a good shepherd for returning to economic prosperity. I mean, I think that one right there would be a great place, Senator.
Look, I think fighting not just for energy independence, but for energy dominance. The United States of America is the world's leading producer of oil and gas. It's dropped precipitously from where we were because Joe Biden has systematically waged war through more than 20 different regulatory assaults on oil and gas. But not just that, going after capital. You look at their banking regulators that are making it harder and harder for banks to loan for new oil exploration. And you look at the SEC, who's making it harder and harder to raise new equity capital. If you can't get equity and you can't get debt, you're out of luck. And this is by design. And I got to say, Larry, it is difficult to explain. I don't know how these leftists articulate why. They want America to produce less oil and gas while at the same time they want our enemies to produce more. They want Iran to produce more oil. They want Venezuela to produce more oil. They are in the process of shifting oil and gas production from among the cleanest production on earth, which is in the United States of America, that produces American jobs, to our enemies who produce oil and gas much, much dirtier, who pollute more, and who use that money to fund efforts to murder Americans. It makes zero sense.
Last one, Senator Cruz. You know I can't help myself. So your speech at the Republican Jewish Coalition, you blew the roof off. You got a standing ovation. So why don't you throw your hat into the presidential ring? Toss it in there. In fact, I'll get you a hat. I have some lovely English trilbies that I would loan you to put your hat into the ring.
Well, I'll tell you what I said at the RJC is that I'm running for re-election to the Senate. I'm on the ballot in 2024, and the Democrats are coming after me. There is no Republican in the United States Senate who Democrats would like to beat more than me. Last time, it was the most expensive Senate race in United States history. They outraised and outspent me 3-1. And because I'm leading the fight against these disastrous policies, they want to take me out. And so I would encourage folks listening, go to tedcruz.org, 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 because we need the contributions you're making to get reelected and also to stand and fight to take our country back. Tomorrow, I'm headed to Georgia to do a rally with Herschel Walker and Lindsey Graham and Sean Hannity, because that December 6th runoff is critically important. And so your contributions make a big difference. And I'm focused on the fight in the United States Senate right now. There'll be plenty of time to worry about the presidential.
What are your thoughts there? Do you agree, disagree with Ted Cruz? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, hi guys, I didn't see you there. Guys, can I tell you tip of the day because you know, I'm still in South Carolina. I know it looks like in a different place, but let's get over it. Can I tell you the thing that you should really, really actually do when someone's hurt or you're hurt? You should really do something really good and help them out because they're hurt. You can't let a person hurt. Stay there. I know you guys would do such a great thing, even better than that. Like help them up or something. And you can too. So that's all the advice that I wanted to give to you today. And also, this is my sister Kalea. Say hi. Hi. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. So everything is good with us. It is Thanksgiving Eve, and we're just preparing a couple things around the house. We're only having a couple family members come over. Girls still not feeling the best, so yeah, we're just gonna probably just take it easy, hang out at home. We don't really do much special rituals for Thanksgiving. I know a lot of other people do some cool things, but yeah, just gonna chill out, relax. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos or my other channels, click right up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.